Hey Emily, how's it going? We've not been sat here for like 10 minutes having a conversation, but in front of the camera, how's life, how's stuff?
It's good, everything's going good. Just had a 10-day break. Well, I did some shows in Cornwall solo, and now we're up in Manchester doing part 2 of the tour.
Nice. How were the solo shows?
Oh great! I'd never done a show in Cornwall and I had to cancel one earlier in the year, back in September, because I got the offer to go to Nashville with the BBC introducing, which was like I had to go. So, but I felt really bad about it. So I booked some house gigs and a pub gig as well. Well, I just got my fans to book me stuff, so I went down and did that. It was fun.
Yeah. How was Nashville? How was being out there in the sort of midst of the country thing?
It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, I was really, really, really ill, which was a real bummer. But it's such a cool city, and just walking down Broadway and popping your head into all the different honky tonks and seeing, country music happening live with people with cowboy hats on. And
Did you buy a cowboy hat?
I didn't buy a hat. I bought some boots.
Nice.
Yeah.
You went with my mate Austin as well, didn't you?
Oh yeah, he's coming over. We're doing a show together in February.
Yes.
February the 15th at
awesome.
King's Place down in London.
Oh, awesome.
So we're going to do some songs together as well.
Oh, I can't wait to see Austin again. Anyway, the Dear River tour. It's back on the way. So the first sort of tour you've done this year with the band. You've done a lot of solo stuff.
Yeah.
A few odd dates on festivals and stuff. But is it nice to be back in that sort of band atmosphere all together kind of thing?
It's great. And we've got a bit of a crew and a team around us, so it's just a little community vibe.
Nice.
We're all doing, it's 2 months sort of spread over 2 months the tour, so it's great. And it's great having our drummer Nat Butler with us as well, and just like adding a bit more of a rocky sound to what we do.
Travelling music family.
Yeah.
Which you've inducted Christy T into as well.
Oh yeah, he's the best. He's so good. Except for he wins all the pub quizzes that we have by miles.
You've been doing a lot of pub quizzes on the tour then.
Yeah, because we've got a bus for the first time, so we have this lounge area, and after the shows we sort of tend to sit around and have a drink and do a pub quiz.
So the Dear River tour, that album came out early this year. Feels very much like a sort of concept record. Is that the case? Is it?
It is. Yeah, the lyrics are all based on a concept. It's all about the idea of home, and it's sort of my personal story of home, starting out in Western Australia in the southwest, and then travelling around the world for a few years, and then settling in the UK and it becoming my home away from home. But it covers lots of other subjects like emigration and exile and colonialism and Indigenous Australian politics and all sorts of things.
Do you miss Australia? Do you miss, you live in the UK now, but do you miss not being out there? Because I would.
I do. All my family, my brother's been over for 6 months, which has been great, but all the rest of my family are back there, and it's just so far away. So I do.
Sort of mixes sort of that traditional country thing with a little bit of sort of new folk and even a little bits of rock and roll in there.
Yeah.
Sort of what was the sort of the process of making it? Was it just as it came to you, or was there always ideas for different things, or?
It was. I definitely wanted to make a bit more of a rocky album. Sort of more drums and bass, and definitely I started listening to lots of country music again. I'd sort of put that on the back burner for a while, but I used to be in an old country band called the Low Country. We were based in Cambridge years ago, and I don't know, I just started listening to all of that again, and then that came out in some of the songs.
Any sort of new country stuff you could recommend or anything like that?
Well, Austin Lucas, great. Somebody Loves You, that record, that's what I started listening to. Kathleen Edwards is one, an album called Voyager I really love. Anais Mitchell, her record Young Man in America, which is sort of Americana, I suppose, rather than country. I don't know. It's hard to categorise these things, but I really love those records.
So along with Dear River's finished, but you've got other projects going on.
Yes.
Last time we spoke, you said you were doing another album. I can't remember where you said you were recording it.
Oh yeah, Vina Porte. That's like my side project album, and that's all done now. I'm going to release that at some point next year, probably on my own record label. And I'm working on, God, what What else am I working on? A film called Victor, which is hopefully all going ahead. And I have been working on another film called The Keeping Room, which is out next year, with Martin Phipps, the composer who did the Shadowline and Wallander. So yeah, been doing a bit more film and TV writing, which has been fun.
Be keeping busy, right?
Yeah.
You also do Folk in the Box.
Yes,
which
Folk in
is
the Box.
A smash hit sensation across London.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's getting really popular now. And Sydney Arts Festival want it, so we're actually going to build an Australian box, and it's almost confirmed, but we're going to be out there in January at the Sydney Arts Festival for 3 weeks.
That's awesome. In fact, for anyone that doesn't know what Folk in the Box is, can you just describe it a little bit?
Yeah, so Folk in a Box is a one-on-one musical experience inside the world's smallest venue, and it's about 6 foot tall, 8 foot long and 4 foot wide, and you enter through a door and it's pitch black inside, and there's a performer sitting in a chair at one end, and then you sit down in a chair on the other end, and somebody at the door close it behind you, and the performer plays one song, and then you give a knock on the door and the person lets you out. And so it's just really simple. You just get one song pretty much in the dark by, it could be anyone, you don't really know who's going to be there.
Where did the idea for that come from?
It was me and Dom Coyote, who's he's a theatre maker. So we were at a festival in, where were we? Stand Calling Festival, and we just came across this little space that wasn't being used, and we started performing in there and just grabbing people, not grabbing them, but just enticing them into the box and into this little space, and then played them one song, and then they left, and it just sort of developed from that.
You say you're taking to Sydney. Is there going to be a time where Folk in the Box tours? Because it has been just in London at the minute. But
yeah, well, it's been to Venice. It was in Venice last year for 3 months actually, and we've done various festivals. But we're hoping to do a Folk in the Box UK tour, go from Land's End to John O'Groats at some point next year, and we're hoping that it's going to be turned into a television programme.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. Busy.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. That's sort of all I've got. But
thank you.